Welcome back, everybody. Ready for another deep dive?
Absolutely. Ready to go.
All right. Today, we're going to be tackling something pretty inspiring,
Oh, yeah.
but also a little infuriating.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at the barriers faced by minority women in tech,
Right.
particularly when they're trying to secure venture capital.
Yeah, it's a crucial conversation, I think,
Yeah.
especially for an industry that prides itself on innovation and, disruption,
Yeah.
but often falls short when it comes to inclusivity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
To help us navigate this, we have the story of Záda Beasley.
Okay.
She is the founder and CEO of ZataData,
Wow.
which is a company that's doing some groundbreaking work in AI and machine learning and Web3.
I've heard of that company.
Yeah, and her journey really highlights these very issues that we're talking about.
Okay.
Imagine you walk into an investment meeting.
Mm-hmm.
You're ready to pitch your revolutionary tech idea,
Yeah.
and you're mistaken for the caterer.
Oh, wow. That's
It's unbelievable, right? But that's exactly what happened to Záda.
Oh, my goodness.
And it illustrates these deeply ingrained biases that women face in tech,
Right.
especially minority women.
Absolutely. And it shows you, even when you have this proven track record,
Yeah.
the assumptions that people make about you based on how you look
Mm-hmm.
can be so hard to overcome.
Yeah. And Záda's track record is amazing. She was deploying AI and machine learning
Wow.
to launch GPS satellites
What?
into space
Yeah.
before Google even existed.
Really?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Talk about a pioneer.
Yeah, a true pioneer.
Right.
Yeah, and her story really just speaks to her resilience
Yeah.
and her vision,
Mhm.
being able to achieve that level of success in a field dominated by men.
Yeah.
It's truly remarkable.
It makes you wonder how much further ahead she would be if she wasn't battling these invisible barriers.
Precisely. And that's why it's so important that we look not just at her achievements,
Yeah.
but at the larger context
Yeah.
that she had to operate in.
Yeah. What are the systemic issues that create these barriers?
Right.
And how do they impact not only individual careers,
Exactly.
but the advancement of technology
As a whole.
as a whole?
Yeah.
So Záda has a background in electrical engineering, computer science, and mathematics.
Okay.
I mean, she was building infrastructure for smart cities,
Wow.
designing AI applications for semiconductor chips.
Wow.
This is foundational work, the kind of stuff that powers our daily lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
And she was doing all this
Mhm.
while navigating a professional landscape that wasn't exactly welcoming.
Right. And let's be clear, this wasn't just about a lack of representation. Záda has talked about experiencing, outright discrimination and bias in her career.
Yeah.
People doubted her abilities, questioned her expertise, constantly put up roadblocks.
Yeah.
But what's remarkable is that she never let that dim her vision
Yeah.
or her determination.
She talks about persevering with grace, and excellence.
Mhm.
And those aren't just buzzwords. They represent a real and powerful approach to overcoming adversity.
Right. It's about having the resilience to push through these challenges.
Yeah.
The composure to stay professional,
Yeah.
even when faced with disrespect.
Exactly.
And just this commitment to always striving for the highest standard.
Absolutely.
And it's a mindset that I think is not only inspiring,
Yeah.
but it's incredibly effective. It's
Yeah.
something I think we can all learn from.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's face it, we all encounter these obstacles and setbacks in life.
Right.
The key is how we respond to them.
Yeah. And Záda's response was to become a pioneer in AI,
Right.
artificial intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where her story gets even more interesting.
Okay.
She was working with organizations like Martin Marietta, Lockheed Martin, and NASA,
Wow.
integrating AI into GPS systems back in the late 1990s.
Wow.
Think about that.
Yeah.
This was before AI was mainstream,
Right.
before it was the next big thing.
Yeah.
She was ahead of the curve.
Way ahead.
Seeing the potential of AI to revolutionize how we use data and technology.
Yeah, and not just theorizing about it.
Right.
She was putting it into practice.
Yeah. Building real-world applications.
That had a tangible impact.
And it was a time when the tech industry was even more male-dominated
Oh, for sure.
than it is today.
Yeah.
The fact that she was able to not only break into that space,
Right.
but excel in it
Mm-hmm.
is a testament to her talent,
Mm-hmm.
her vision, and her determination.
Absolutely.
She was also an early advocate for cloud computing.
Really?
Again, seeing the potential of this technology before it became what it is today.
Wow.
This ability to anticipate these tech trends and see how to apply them,
Mm-hmm.
it's a hallmark of a true innovator.
Yeah, it really speaks to her deep understanding, not just the technical aspects,
Yeah.
but their potential to solve real-world problems
Mhm.
to create new possibilities.
So we've got this incredible combination of technical brilliance,
Yeah.
visionary leadership,
Mhm.
and unwavering resilience. But even with all that, she still faced these barriers and biases
Of course.
that her male counterparts just didn't have to deal with.
And that's the issue, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, we celebrate individual successes like Záda's,
Yeah.
but we have to acknowledge the things
Mm-hmm.
that make those successes so much harder for certain groups to achieve.
It's about recognizing that talent and potential are evenly distributed,
Yeah.
but opportunity is not.
Right?
And until we address that, we're doing a disservice not only to people like Záda,
Mm-hmm.
but we're limiting the potential of the entire tech industry.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The whole thing. Yeah. It's like we're trying to solve the world's most complex problems with only half the brain power.
It's such a good point.
Yeah.
You know, when we talk about the impact of these barriers,
Yeah.
it's not just about individual careers or missed opportunities.
Right.
It's about the technology that gets developed,
Uh-huh.
the problems that we focus on,
Exactly.
the kind of future we're building.
And if the people making that technology don't reflect the population,
Yeah.
then the technology itself is probably going to reflect those same biases.
Yeah. Let's talk about venture capital then.
Okay.
Securing funding is essential for any startup to succeed.
Right.
But for minority women founders, it's way more challenging.
The numbers make that very clear.
Yeah.
Study after study has shown that female founders get a fraction of the venture capital funding
Right.
compared to men.
Yeah.
And when you add race to that,
Mm-hmm.
the disparity is even worse.
So what are the reasons for this funding gap?
Well, I think it's probably a mix of things.
Okay.
On the one hand, you have this pattern matching thing
Yeah.
where investors just invest in founders who look like and sound like people they've invested in before.
Yeah.
And since most venture capitalists are white men,
Right.
it creates a cycle of exclusion.
Yeah, it's like this unspoken rule book.
Exactly.
To get funded, you have to fit the mold.
Right.
And if you don't, your ideas are seen as less valuable,
Mm-hmm. Less risky.
regardless of their actual merit.
And this is where that mistaken for the caterer thing is so telling.
Right.
It goes beyond just a misunderstanding.
Yeah.
It shows this assumption that a woman of color couldn't be the CEO of a tech company.
It's that subconscious bias
Exactly.
that can really impact these funding decisions.
Yeah, they may not even realize they're doing it,
Right.
but they're looking at these investments through their own limited lens.
And that's why it's so important to have more diversity in investors themselves.
Absolutely.
If the people deciding where the money goes come from different backgrounds,
Mhm.
they'll be more likely to recognize good ideas that would otherwise be overlooked.
It's about broadening what success looks like.
Yeah.
Sounds like.
And thinks like.
Exactly.
Was recognizing that innovation can come from anyone,
Right.
not just the same small group of people.
And let's not forget the economic impact of this.
Yeah.
When we exclude talented people because of their race or gender,
Right.
we're basically stopping innovation and limiting economic growth.
They'll lose-lose. We need more Záda Beasleys out there.
Exactly.
We need to create an environment where they can thrive.
So how do we change things?
Yeah. How do we move towards a more equitable investment landscape?
Well, it's tough,
Mm-hmm.
but I think there are a few things.
Okay. I'm all ears.
First, we need more data.
Okay.
We need to understand the problem, where the biggest disparities are,
Yeah.
what's causing them.
Data's key.
Exactly. Once we have that,
Right.
we can start to make solutions.
Right.
We need to increase awareness.
Okay.
Talk about these issues openly,
Mm-hmm.
challenge assumptions,
Yeah.
train people on bias and DEI principles.
It's about changing mindsets, right?
Yeah, helping people see their own biases
Yeah.
and how they might be affecting them.
Even if they don't realize it.
Exactly. And it's not just investors.
Right.
It's everyone in the tech world, founders, mentors, policymakers.
Yeah. We need to value diversity
Mm-hmm.
so everyone feels empowered to challenge this discrimination.
It's about shifting the conversation from why to how.
Exactly.
And that brings us to another point.
Okay.
We need more ways for underrepresented founders to get funding.
Mm-hmm.
This could be things like dedicated funds
Okay.
or mentorship programs,
Yeah.
accelerator programs.
To give them the resources they need.
Exactly. It's about leveling the playing field,
Yeah.
giving them the same access as everyone else.
And it's not just about money, right?
No, it's about support,
Yeah.
connecting them with people who can help them.
Mentors, advisors, role models,
Exactly.
people who can guide them.
It's about community,
Yeah.
where they feel seen and heard.
Where they can share their experiences,
Yeah.
learn from each other.
Exactly.
And that's where someone like Záda is so important.
Right.
She's not just a successful entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm.
She's a role model.
Yeah.
Proof that it can be done.
Exactly.
That you can break through these barriers.
You can achieve your dreams.
Her story reminds us that even though the system might be against you, you can still overcome these challenges with talent, hard work, and vision.
And that's where her company comes in.
Right. ZataData.
ZataData, it's not just about the technology, it's the culture.
Right. Creating a company culture that embraces all this.
Yeah. Diversity, inclusion, empowering people.
So let's talk about what they're doing.
Okay.
AI, machine learning, cloud computing,
Hmm.
big data, AI, mobility autonomy, robotics.
Wow.
It's impressive.
It's a lot.
It is.
What I find really interesting about them is they're not just following the trends.
Right.
They're using this stuff to solve real problems.
Yeah.
And create a more human future.
And a big focus for them is Web3,
Right. Web3.
readiness and digital transformation.
For anyone who doesn't know,
Yeah.
Web3 is basically the next version of the internet.
Okay.
Built on blockchain,
Yeah.
all about decentralization, user ownership, transparency.
So it's about shifting power away from these big corporations
Exactly.
and giving it back to individuals.
What's the goal?
And ZataData is helping companies figure this out.
Right. Making sure they're ready for this new digital world.
So they're not just building technology, they're building the infrastructure for a better future.
I like that.
Right.
And it fits perfectly with Zeta's own journey.
Right.
Breaking down barriers,
Mhm.
creating opportunities.
It's this mix of expertise
Yeah.
and social awareness that makes them so unique.
I agree. They get that technology as a tool.
Yeah.
It can either make inequality worse
Right.
or it can make the world better.
And they've chosen to make the world better.
Yeah, it's inspiring to see a company doing that.
Absolutely pushing boundaries, advocating for change.
So as we wrap up,
Yeah.
I think what we've learned is Zeta's story isn't just about her.
Mhm.
It's a call to action for all of us.
Right?
Look at our own biases,
Yeah.
advocate for more diversity,
In the tech industry.
support companies like ZataData,
Yeah, companies that are using technology to build a better world for everyone.
because we all have a role to play in this.
Absolutely, whether you're an investor, an entrepreneur, a policymaker.
We're just a person.
Yeah, just a concerned citizen, you can make a difference.
We need to challenge the status quo,
Yeah.
demand better,
Support those who are trying to break down these barriers.
and create a tech industry that reflects our society.
It's a journey,
It is.
but every step we take,
Yeah.
every voice that speaks out,
We get closer to a future where stories like Záda's are normal.
that's a future we want.
A future worth fighting for.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for listening.
We hope you found this informative.
Inspiring.
And check out ZataData.
Yeah, learn more about what they're doing.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See you then.